Hello traders and welcome back to today's daily watch list. The reason we are going to do the watch list on the afternoon is because the markets were slow. Of course, the cryptocurrencies were not slow at all, but everything else was kind of slow. So nothing had changed too much since the last daily watch list. So there you go. We're going to start by looking, all right, let's start by looking at Ethereum, right? So we had a big crash in cryptocurrencies. From high to low, we're talking about a 58.58% move in cryptos, right? Now, we are still looking, or I am still looking for those longs. I'm personally still long crypto or Ethereum. This is a great zone, as you can see. Well, we already had it here. Took a while for my charts to load, right? This is no longer in play, guys. But as you can see, levels are still being respected in cryptocurrencies, and yeah, we are still looking for that momentum to the upside. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart and delete a lot of lines, let's delete the drawings on the hourly too, and let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. You can see that these levels are still being very much respected. Now, these big wicks or these 4-hour candles tells us that we might get some bullish momentum to the upside. Now, my oscillator is still making lower highs, which means that we are still not out of the woods. But yes, we are looking for that reversal at least to retest these previous lows around the 3250, right? So I do have some longs from this level, from 24,000, 25,000 level. Then I'm going to ride until the 35,000 level. Here I'm going to decide what to do with them. I'll probably close most of them here, but still, this is what I'm looking at. Bitcoin is the same story, right? Bitcoin is the same story. Now let's just delete all of these drawings, and let's move to the daily. Same story in Bitcoin, right? The next buy zone really held in Bitcoin, on which we can see that well, buyers are starting to come into this market, so heads up to that, right? The DAX. Well, the DAX, we took profits right where we had to, because well, we shorted the DAX here, right? And we took profits before it actually started to rally. That was a good thing to do, because this market is now looking very bullish, right? We're not going to reshort this market at all. That's out of the question, but we are still going to look for moves in equities. Now, the S&P 500, now the S&P 5, no, this is the Russell 2000, I'm sorry. The Russell 2000, however, this is one of the markets that I'm looking for a long play. And we might get some activity here on the VIP channel today. So heads up to that. Remember that this is only for VIPs. So if by some miracle you get this link and you're not a VIP, the link to get onto the VIP channel is below this video. But what we're going to do with the Russell is pretty simple. As you can see, this level has been holding, the 2125 level has been holding very nicely. So what we're going to do is this. We are going to look at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart still looks bearish in the sense that we are still making lower highs and lower lows, but we are still going to look for that possible move to the upside. Now, why are we looking for possible move to the upside? Because small caps are lacking big caps, right? Let's just delete this line. This line is no longer in play, and this one right here should be the next key level, which is this one right here. So we are still trading below the weekly pivot, now retesting this week's lows. The play that I'm looking at is a break of this week's highs, and a retest of this week's highs, right, before going long on the Russell. Now the S&P 500 already rallying. We're going to look at what happens when it hits the 4180 level. That's about it. There was no setup to go long on the S&P 500. Maybe we could have been long at the break of this level right here, but still the risk to reward on that trade was not appealing at all. Same with the Dow. Same with the Dow. On the Dow, actually, we were waiting for a retest of the 33.27 level, the 33.30 level. It didn't happen. That was our power buy zone. Sadly, that did not happen. The Nasdaq, on the other hand, the Nasdaq has broken with. Now, the Nasdaq is in a very, very curious position, right? Why? Because if we go to the hourly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for a retest of the 13,400 level, which means we might get in on a buy here before going higher. So that'll be a swing trading signal, right? Sent to the swing trading channel. Gold, on the other hand, we are very happy with this long in gold that we sent out today. We are going to manage this very quickly if it doesn't move out in our direction. Let's have a look at the daily. The daily, this is the reason that we are sending this long in gold. Why? We already broke with that level that we were looking at. After that indecision candle from yesterday, we are moving higher. Now, this is a clear bull trap, and we expect to move higher on gold, whilst the US dollar is moving down. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, same. Let me just delete this. Same analysis. This level is really holding. We have our stops below these lows. But again, if gold doesn't manage to move higher in the next few hours, we are going to manage this trade accordingly, right? Crude oil. If you remember on my session, someone asked me that what they should do with a buy that they had around these levels, and I told them, dudes, you should definitely take some profits. And what do you know? Crude is now dropping very hard. Again, I'm not interested in this market at all, so I'm going to be moving forward to the DXY. Now, the DXY is retesting the DXY. The US dollar currency index is retesting that 89.75 level. Remember these lows. Let's move to the 8-hour chart so we can actually look at that level. Now, the exact level that I'm looking at is the 89.67 level. Yeah, I expect a little bit of downside on the rest of the session on the US dollar. Now, it's going to be hard for bears, I'm sorry, to break with this level. This is a very strong level of support. So we might get somewhat of a pullback or a somewhat of a bullish momentum to the upside, of course, right? So heads up to that, because the bearish continuation has not been yet validated, so we might get some bullishness after all. Right, let's do the majors and let's finish up with that. Now, the Euro US dollar, now if you remember, we were waiting for the retest of this level to go long. I didn't like this candle, right? And that's the main reason that we didn't act on that possible long. The GBP USD, same idea. This one I missed. This one was a slam dunk long with a great risk to reward ratio that I did miss. So that was on me. But we know you can't catch every single one of the setups that you plan. Now, the US dollar, Canadian dollar, on the other hand, we're just looking at the hourlies right here with the double top above that pivot, that weekly pivot. Again, I need a bigger risk to reward on the US dollar, Canadian dollar to be able to go short. And I'm waiting for that big pullback on this market. Still, if you can see, I have my alert right here that I'm actually going to be moving. a little bit. No, it's good. This is the level that I'm looking for a pullback, so I'm going to put my alert here. Hold on. Right, and I'm going to delete this one. Remove. Yep. And right here, key level retest. Cool. So there you go. Aussie US dollar. The Aussie US dollar looking a little bit tired around these levels. I mean, this market is kind of slow. And we are still. If we look at the 4-hour chart, we are still very much trapped inside of this range. So to me, there's no trade. The New Zealand dollar, US dollar, same story. We are trading above that point of control, but still trapped inside of this range. So no trade for me. The US dollar versus the Japanese yen. If we look at the daily now, the daily it's looking extremely bearish. Right here, if we break with this structure. Now, to me, to go short, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't go short below these lows. Why? Because we do have last week's lows that will act as a big zone of support just around the corner. So right now, the US dollar Japanese yen is in the middle of nowhere for me. And finally, the pound yen. The pound yen came down and retested the weekly pivot, but I really did not like price action at this level, so we are not going to be acting on that one. It has been very choppy around this level, so I'm going to need a further direction or real direction for me to act on the pound yen. But we are still looking good on this gold. It's no longer hot. We no longer have this one here. We're still looking very good on that long in gold, that Olympus cent. So yeah, let's rock it.